Yeah, looks like we're off. This is Uncle Assured, so we definitely know what the uncle is gonna give us.
Is it attitude?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that'll make a lot of sense. So yeah, we're gonna get to see hopefully some hot escape tech here from these guys.
Yeah.
I expect
One
a lot
thing,
of synchronization for the first 6 minutes or so here.
yeah, the only thing that could probably set them aside a little bit would be potential bomb drops.
Yep, it is the standard Uncle Assured drop of choice, trying to get those bombs to the back of escape so you can route it in early.
Yeah, and getting the bug net in the first chest, well, good thing we have Uncle Assured. We get to save that extra menu we'd had to do if this was randomized weapons.
Very true. You can see these runners taking the time to kill the guards they probably wouldn't normally do, because again, they're fishing for those bomb drops. Already we got to see some nice pumping action on the way up to the initial drop to your dead uncle. Trying to save as much time as possible wherever you can get it. Alright, some nice guard dodging there from both our runners. Still no bombs yet, but the amount of kills is still low for this point in the game here.
Yeah. Like, it makes sense not farming too much on the way down to Zelda, because you might get some bombs in the chest on the way, and then later you always have the snakes and the rats that are definitely higher in capacity to just farm a bit easier.
Agreed. We do have a question in chat. This is the first of our best of 5 series, so just had a quick question about the format. The settings for the game are determined kind of by the race document. So the Game 1 settings are chosen by the lower-seeded player, Game 2 the higher-seeded player, and then settings for Game 3 is chosen by the higher-seeded player, but the lower-seeded player has 1 veto available. And if things go to a Game 4, the opposite is true there. The lower-seeded player gets the choice, but the higher-seeded player has a veto. And if things go all the way to an incredible Game 5, which I hope they do, Walter, the game will be chosen randomly by the bot, and I believe each player gets a veto.
That sounds correct to me.
No, Kohrek is in the race, Walter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make, sir. Alright, so our first... was that our first key? Was that a Palace of Darkness small key there, I saw?
Yeah, it looked like it. I think we got a big key to Hera as well.
Oh, yes, we did.
But our first small key,
props
that
to
isn't to this
Wolf,
dungeon.
our tracker, for keeping track of all these keys for us. I can already tell that at some point during this race I will completely forget about keys and say something objectively incorrect. It's going to be great, Walter. I hope you're ready for it.
Yeah, that tends to happen in Key Sanity.
Worth pointing out, still no bomb drops. We'll see if these runners opt to kill some of these green cards down the hallway, or if they're going to be saving their kills for some rats.
Yeah, I guess with Key Sanity settings makes the potential of getting bombs in the chest a little bit lower.
Yep.
So yeah, Game 2 will be the same time tomorrow, and it will be almost identical settings, except it will be hard mode instead of normal.
They're trying to spice things up a little bit, but not too much. It's like using mild sauce on your Taco Bell taco.
Yeah, it's interesting because both, like, that shows that both runners are really comfortable with this mode.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, rope kills in escape.
Ooh, there's our first bomb for both of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. No,
yeah, it's always nice when both runners or neither get bombs. That's our second key to pod already.
Well, the Palace of Small Keys does often live up to its name. Alright, so we're going to get a quick peek into the back of escape chests with the lone bomb that these runners picked up. Kohrek lost a little bit of his 2-second lead there due to rad RNG.
Yeah, and they're pretty much synced up at this point.
Alright, let's see what we got back here. Oh, wow. Lantern and bombs. Very handy, actually. That triple bombs opens up some different routing options for the early light world if they're feeling a little spicy.
Yeah,
with
for
Key
sure.
Sanity, you'll often see runners opting to do Houlihan Room just to get money.
Yeah, it's a sensible idea to do because it can be hard to get to early.
But not always. We'll have to see.
Oh,
thalane running right by the chest.
I was gonna make a joke about we haven't seen the Hyrule Castle key yet, or Hyrule Castle map, but it looks like thalane was already thinking in those lines.
This could bode poorly for his. You know, at some point he'll save and quit to Sanctuary, and hopefully he'll remember. But luckily for him, that's pretty inconsequential. Kohrek with the caveless Houlihan Room setup here on the left side of your screen. 4 drops into the water, lift up the bush to reset the camera location, and boom, you're in the Houlihan Room.
And thalane hitting the jackpot with the bush crabs, giving 20 rupees. So getting some nice money as well.
Right, piece of heart on the lumberjack tree chest, so good to know. This is all dungeons, so we will have to kill Ganon at some point, but it's still nice to know what's in that location. A lot of our out-of-the-way checks so far this seed have been pieces of heart.
Yeah, it's always nice just to know what it is. So you can just, if it's nothing, you can just take that off your mind.
Kohrek busting out the Farame Key Sanity starting strats, where you take Houlihan Room into the Sahashwala check. All right, we're checking. So Thieves Town is our green pendant. All right, a handy bottle and a Swamp Palace big key. One of the least useful big keys, but does give you that chest, I suppose.
Yeah, not the most exciting one, but it's always nice whenever they're gonna go into Swamp now. At least they know they're not gonna have to leave any chest behind.
Yeah, we've already got some pretty variant routing so far here. thalane kind of doing the standard CAC start with the lumberjack check. Kohrek opting for the Houlihan Room into the South Shore checks, excuse me. There's a reason that's an old nursery rhyme. Wow, Master Sword and Moon Pearl in Blind's Hut.
Yeah, big key for Eastern as well, which is interesting.
It's always nice to get. Kohrek throws open the dam. We're going to find out what our waterlogged item is. And it's a key! Is it an incredible key or a boring one?
That could be an incredible key.
Yeah, it could be, actually.
It's definitely a nice one to have, that's for sure. But that probably just means that we're not going to have the hammer when we go to Feast Town.
Oh wow, the Palace of Darkness big key in the bottom of the well. Probably a little rusty, but so what? That's 2 small keys for pod plus the big key. So Mini Moldworms giving Kohrek just a little bit of trouble. Those guys are crazy annoying.
Yeah, and doesn't have the luxury to just throw bombs over.
Yeah, the man doesn't have enough bombs. Alright, Turok small key for thalane, Miserymeyer big key for Kohrek. More bombs is actually pretty welcome at this point.
Yeah.
It is
We're
worth
finding
pointing
it
out that if
quite-
Kohrek was planning on doing some crazy fake flipper routing, he is money short for Zora. The bow pickup for thalane, very nice. Ha, Kohrek's on a half heart.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be careful now. We
He's
just
gonna have to
entered
do
one
the
hit
old,
KO mode.
yeah, the old crab dance. Hopefully he'll be able to strike their weak point for massive damage.
But so yeah, that bow, we now have fully access as soon as our runners. Oh no!
Oh no, Kohrek takes the death. Oh wait, fairy.
Oh yeah, right. They have the ferry.
No, I totally
Probably
didn't forget about that,
calculated.
Walther. I was just trying to artificially inflate the hype. So thanks for playing along with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
You're such a good friend.
Kohrek was
thalane is
probably just
immediately
taking.
punished for doing the no-look race game.
Yeah. I think probably Kohrek just took that death on purpose so they can death warp easier in the future.
Yeah, that was 100% planned. Thalane's no-look race game check in key sanity, especially with just the increased importance of the number of checks, is typically a good play. It just didn't work out in this case.
Ooh, there's
Ooh.
a blue whale. That's pretty nice.
We got ourselves a blue shy guy now. Alright, so Kohrek doing the reverse cack attempt here. I like it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately also gonna do the blind race game, which is not really gonna pay off, but means that none of our runners really lost any time doing that.
Yeah, it's, again, typically a pretty solid play in key sanity.
Yeah, I would say so. And
Maybe they had a pre-game agreement to, like, the loser of the race game timer has to buy the other person a beer.
But they never went to see what the time was.
Maybe they're just really good friends and they want to buy each other both a beer.
That would make more sense, yeah.
I agree. Alright, so both these runners are going to be checking a few items that their counterpart has now. It'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming at this point that thalane is probably just going to go straight into Eastern Palace with that Eastern Palace big key and the bow.
That would make a lot of sense. Full lane logic, and it's a dungeon we can full clear. That would make 100% sense to do so.
Yeah, if the dungeon's clearable, it could be good just to get her out of the way.
Yeah, we're still missing both the glove and hammer, or potential 2 gloves for the Dark World access so far. And Feline even missing the Moon Pearl, but gonna get that as soon as they go to South Shore, which no doubt that we'll do that.
Yeah, I assume that will get the routing for thalane into Eastern worked out quite well actually with the big key and the bow. So he's kind of taking advantage of where his route happened to direct him early game and just getting this done. Still possible to make up time with it later if you're Kohrek with a mirror pod combo play or something, but that's a lot less likely in key sanity. So. Alright, let's see what's in Eastern Palace chest number 2. Oh my god, the hammer.
That seems pretty required.
That feels super required. A pretty solid pickup. Thalane's early game running choices have led him to a pretty nice batch of early game items here. Twitch chat is suggesting we all get out our parachute pants because it's hammer time. I can't really argue with that.
Seems fair enough. Small key to Meyer. Not the most important key. Always nice to have at least one for routing's sake, though.
Yeah, not hard required, but again, nice. I was too busy looking at Twitch chat. I didn't see that hint out. Can you bail me out, Walter?
It said something.
You are objectively correct, sir. It did say something. All right, Twitch chat helped me out because I was looking at Twitch chat. GT big key in plain sight.
Yeah, that's a good hint. Guaranteed to have a GT big key hint in Key Sanity.
Well, it's you know, it does open up the possibility that the GT big key is on the torch in Ganon's tower. It remains possible now.
For sure, that's one of the plain sight ones. Basically, any place you can see the item without it being in a chest is basically a plain sight one. Ooh, there's some
the flute
in Eastern. That's pretty spicy.
Yeah, Eastern has been pretty loaded here with both the hammer and the flute and some keys and the nice GT hint tile.
It's funny, so far neither the bow or the big key for Eastern blocked any of those items.
Yeah, and thalane doesn't even have to do that really annoying room in the dark because he got the lantern from the back of Escape, so that's always very nice. I'm sure he's more than capable of doing it, but it can potentially lose you some time. But Kohrek making a very similar play over here to his opponent, so he will be obtaining his hammer and flute quite shortly here. Alright, it's time to watch and judge thalane on his Armos Knights. I'm feeling confident that it's going to be rock solid.
Starting off good, that's for sure. Oh, took a hit.
Oh, no. Now I feel bad because I was making fun of him because I just assumed he was gonna rock it. That's alright. Recovered very nicely. Only lost 50 seconds.
At least this wasn't one-hit KO mode. That would have been unfortunate.
I think he got that out of his system this morning. Yeah, it just goes to show you that even runners of this high a caliber, the pressure of a tournament scenario, best of 5, I mean, it can get to you. You wouldn't think it would, but if you've ever played in a tournament, it can definitely affect you. Yeah,
for sure. And he received thalane skipping the Sanctuary chest again.
You know, that means either he saw it a second time and was like, nah, son, that's gotta be the Hyrule Castle map, even though I'm playing Key Sanity. Or he was, you know, getting a sip of water while he was holding the down button.
I mean, as long as he doesn't check that, it's gonna save him just that a little bit of more time, so...
Maybe thalane was like, you know what, I gotta make one absolutely ridiculous, crazy gamble this seed. I'm just not gonna check the Sank chest right away.
Yeah.
He's a madman.
At this point when he saw it again, it was like, oh, no, I already skipped it for too long, so if it's something, I probably already lost.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to save, like, the 2 seconds it takes to walk over there and open the chest. If that's not speedrunning, I don't know what is. Alright, so thalane's going to do some of his cat cleanup. I believe he did not have a bottle the first time he came here, so now he just beat up a sick child and stole all his lunch money, so yikes. That kid apparently eats prime rib for lunch because 300 rupees is a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't really know what rupees is converted to into dollars, but probably a lot since they're like made of diamonds or whatever.
That's true. You know, the base green rupee is green like a dollar bill is. So maybe it's a 1-to-1, who knows? The sequence of this seed for thalane also means that if he so chooses, he now has the money and inclination to do a fake flipper into Zorachek since he'll have the money for it. So we'll see
And
if that's what he decides to do.
Yeah, the fluid will actually make it pretty convenient for both our runners to do that pretty much whenever they want to.
Alright, Floyd having a little easier time with mini moldworms due to sword beams.
Yeah, the sword beams aren't always useless, luckily.
Sword beams are a very polarizing item. They're either like super helpful and you're really glad you have them, or they are just soul-crushingly annoying. Like I feel like there's not a lot of middle ground.
Something like that seems about right.
Alright, this time I'm not going to preemptively say anything before the Armos fight, Walther.
I'm just gonna say Kohrek is gonna fail this, which means he's gonna nail it instead.
Maybe it is double opposite day. That appears to be the case, Walther. Good work. I need you to pick me the incorrect lottery numbers, Walther. So that way they'll secretly be correct. We'll see if our system holds up.
7,000.
Alright guys, I gotta go to the gas station convenience store for a quick errand. Don't worry about it. It's totally not for a lottery ticket. Alright, speaking of lottery, thalane heading into Dark Death Mountain Old Man check. That was not my best segue, Walther. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing lottery about what's going on the right side of the screen right now. I failed you. I shall endeavor to do better.
Picking up Old Man is kind of a lottery. Sometimes you hit the jackpot when you do that.
That's true. He does give you a random item. I take it all back. Alright, Kohrek picking up his tunic. Alright, Thalane's lottery results were he won the price of his lottery ticket back.
Pretty much. Constellation prize.
Yeah, exactly. That seems legit. Alright, so Kohrek is heading back into town. Meanwhile, Thalane heading over to the Spectacle Rock check. Looks like he is going to go in, check the hint tile, check out the...
Yep. Going blind. Pretty much the only item left up here that Thalane can get anyways, so might as well do a blind and get the hint as well. 10th enemy has a bomb. It must have been that rat we saw in the escape.
Obviously. I mean, the green text and link face mean that that's 100% true and not at all jokey hint tile.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty sure that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, I can't possibly think of what else it could be. We're getting pretty low on our Light World locations here.
Yeah. And both here's a plain side item. Not a big key, though.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of curious what we're going to see in Agina's cave here. It's been Old Man tour of Hyrule here, and we've visited almost all of them.
I think this is the only place in Logic that we haven't seen yet. I guess we still have the first chest in Aga Tower as well. There's a globe.
There we go. So that puts Zora in Logic.
Yeah, and the Dark World.
Well, yeah, also that. But I'd like to point out that what I said was not technically true, Walther. Or was technically true, Walther.
I can confirm.
Alright, so we got both runners choosing to enter the Dark World from different locations. Thalane is going to hit up the Village of Outcasts area. Meanwhile, Kohrek says, I heard that there's a cave that is reportedly filled with hype. I'm going to check that out first. It's been really interesting to see both of these runners having very different approaches to how they chose to route things, and still ending up being relatively close. Kohrek's got, I think, some Death Mountain checks that he hasn't done over Thalane, and I think that's about it. Alright, that was a pretty mediocre hype cave, Walther, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was, what, Ether and a small key?
Yeah, and a small key to Tarok is at least good, but yeah, could have been better for sure.
I'm gonna give that a solid. I'm gonna give that a solid 3 out of 10. But if Ether turns out to be important, I'll retroactively give it a 4 out of 10.
So Dark Palace and Swamp Palace is our 5-6 crystals, and Thalane just picked up a mushroom in Skullwood.
He's also giving Gibdos a hug.
Yeah, picking up another small key to Pod, so
That makes 3.
very interesting. If we get one more small key, they can full clear Palace of Darkness. Ooh, and there's a King of Samaria.
That's a very nice pickup.
Yeah. Even a little bit extra interesting now that we know where the mushroom is as well.
Yeah, definitely, because now the runners could consider some fake powder strategies. Another heart container for Thalane and Skull Woods. Tends to be a lot of them when you're playing normal mode. Alright, how many digs are we getting here? At first I thought Kohrek was spelling out something, but no, he's all about the vertical dig strats.
Yep, looks like it. Unless he's writing something in like hieroglyphs or something.
Alright, so it looks like the Hype Cave Dark World routing without mitts has gotten it got Kohrek Samaria, Ether, and a small key, which is not nothing. Alright, so Kohrek opting to route in this section of Death Mountain before the rest of his Dark World checks.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. You get the save and quit point in worst case scenario, and you don't have to feel bad for like leaving this for a really long time.
Yeah, it also gives you your Death Mountain save and quit location as well.
Yeah.
So getting this in early is not a terrible idea. The sheer amount of times you might save and quit at Link's house only to have to leave, play the flute, fly the duck up to Death Mountain, you might as well just get this check done out of the way.
So we saw another in plain sight check here. It was a small key, not a big key. But yeah, that small key, it's gonna be interesting to see where the cape is. There's a lot of small keys in total we're gonna have to get.
Very true. 3 is the magic number. Alright, so Thalane showing off some more pumping. Very nice. Meanwhile, we're going to see what is in the bombable hut. Alright, so we got ourselves another Fire Rodless Skullwoods check here. Based on what Kohrek has already checked, this play makes a lot of sense.
Yep, Kohrek going up to this chest first, because they're not expecting to see a small key to Skullwoods here. So they don't have to...
in Key Sanity, this is a play that definitely saves you a few seconds.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the pits going back down again.
Alright, so we've got Thalane entering Thieves Town. Since we are down a Thieves Town big key, it'll be just these first 4 chests here.
Yeah, first 4 in Thieves Town is pretty much like just an overworld location, pretty much. Just consider it to be like a cave. You just go in and grab them, pretty much.
Yeah, one of the big things that separates like really skilled players that have put a lot of focus practice into this game is that you don't really... It's really easy to, in your mind, separate like dungeon locations from overworld locations. Just kind of consider them on separate tables, but really everything is just costs the resource of time. So I'm thinking critically about where and how you decide to check locations just based on time and not necessarily their exact location. Can really affect your routing. Meanwhile, while I was
And
blathering on, Thalane picks up the fire rod in Thieves Town.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Well, I mean, it fits in the palm of his hand, Walther. I don't think it's. Oh, you mean in terms of the race? Got it. Yeah, that's a big find.
It's also pretty massive.
Yeah, actually, in terms of scale for this game, yeah, that fire rod is about like 3/4 of the length of a character sprite. So
Yeah.
that fire rod's got to
Like
be
the
what, like
small
3
keys,
feet
for
long,
example,
like a
they're
meter
like,
long.
yeah, the small keys are like bigger than their face. It's pretty big for being a small key.
Well, have you seen the keyholes on those big key doors, Walther? They're huge.
Keys crawl inside of that instead of opening it.
Meanwhile, Thalane appreciating the 3 out of 5 hype cave there. Alright, so with hammer and bow, pod, big key, and 3 keys, is he going to opt to head into pod, or is he going to continue along toward the digging game route?
That is a good question. Looks like digging game it is.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty wise play.
Yeah. Probably waiting for that last, or not the last key, but the last key that they need to full clear it before heading to pod, if possible.
Yeah, plus you always worry about your, in a one-on-one scenario, you worry about your opponents having done a route similar to what Kohrek did and getting something important down here, so taking the time to move over here and get it done. Solid play. And it rewarded him with a Cane of Samario, which he'll need, but maybe not necessarily immediately.
Yeah, nice getting that before turning in the mushroom at the very least.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Kohrek is going to end up picking up his fire rod here in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and Kohrek has already done the south part here, so it's going to be interesting to see if they decide to maybe take a Death Warp, head back up to Skullwoods, or if they just save and quit and head somewhere else.
Alright, so Thalane with the save and quit to Death Mountain, just wants the health refill and a fast flute.
Yeah, fluting to 4. I think that was probably not what they intended.
Yeah, I mean, he just know he started the game. He's like, you know what? I promised my uncle I'd mow the lawn, and his uncle died, and he's like, in order to honor the memory of my uncle, I need to mow the lawn. So he fluted there and took care of those bushes.
That makes no sense at all. His uncle is never gonna see that.
Yeah. Oh, he did miss a couple of spots, so sloppy groundswork, Thalane.
So Thalane is doing the play now into pod.
He is. Meanwhile, Kohrek making a drug deal over here.
Yeah, it's not too unusual to see a vanilla pod key as well, so we might see that and have the possibility to clear everything. And if not, they're probably skipping one chest, but defeating the boss at the very least.
I was surprised to see Kohrek pick up that big 20 there. I'm guessing it was probably just habit. Sometimes you rage pick up an item when you're like, I was really hoping that would be something else. Alright, so both runners deciding that pod is the play. And with a big key and 3 small keys, it feels like a pretty reasonable play here.
Yeah.
Pod and key sanity is especially valuable because normally pod is just filled with small keys. But in key sanity, those keys are distributed elsewhere, so pod is just a pretty thick group of chests to check.
Yeah. We have 14 locations in here in total. 13 of which we can get right now.
Oh wow, that hot statue push into mini Helmosaur bounce tech from thalane there. That was pretty sweet. I don't know if it actually saved him time, but it looked cool. And in my book, that's worth
It did
points.
look cool.
Also, our hint
Also
tile and
gotta-
pod was cash above the pose. The graveyard check is kind of annoying, especially if you don't get your mirror at a convenient time. So that's always a nice hint to get.
Yeah, for sure.
And thalane was so excited about that hint, he dropped his bomb early and had to get out another one. That had to be what it was. I can't think of any other reason. Alright, so let's see what is in Bolok's sections. The Palace of Darkness. A lot of money.
Kohrek doing the same strat there with him in Helmosaur.
That was it's double Swago vision here at Speed Gaming, linked to the past Randomizer tournament. Everywhere you look, you're seeing incredible movement tech. Alright, Kohrek was a little less excited about the hint tile, so you know, obviously that just one bomb more than enough for him. Alright, pod has been pretty unexciting so far, Walther, I had to say.
Yeah, so we have 3 small keys, and when you have 3 small keys to pod, that means that the backup pod is in logic. So it might be where the good stuff is hiding right now.
Yeah, very true. Runners have to be careful about when and how they choose to spend their keys here. We're almost certainly going to see a hammer chest jump here, the old hammer jump.
Ooh, there's some mirror. That's a pretty nice pickup.
That is a nice pickup.
That gives us access to a lot of things.
It most certainly does. Kind of amusing that the one of the annoying mirror check hint tiles was in here in the same dungeon that the mirror was in.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Kohrek deciding to spend one of his small keys on killing the boss itself and not using it toward the back of the pod, I believe.
Probably gonna go to the back as well. But since they're already over here at this area, I just go to the boss first.
True. Well, and the Kohrek doesn't have the mirror that thalane had gotten with his pod routing, so it's in his eyes it's easier to kill the boss, get back to the front of the dungeon, and then go back in again. As opposed to thalane, who could do hammer jump tech and a few other things. Ooh, are we gonna see a rarely used bomb jump in pod here? I think he's got it. He does. Nice. Good work by thalane there. That is not a bomb jump you see too often, but is one of those that is very useful in Key Sanity and a few other places.
So thalane has 1 small key left. Probably gonna save that for the boss, which means that the harmless hellway is the one they're gonna leave behind.
Yeah, that is tough. That's a hard chest to get back to. Meanwhile, Kohrek fighting Helmosaur. Very cleanly done. Nice hammer hits on the exposed weakness of Helmosaur there.
Getting a small key to Ganon's tower could be important. It's all dungeon, so we could have progression in Ganon's tower.
Nice bomb jump from thalane again there. But yeah, I am starting to get worried about the harmless hellway chests here.
Mm-hmm. So Kohrek is also gonna have. Oh, Kohrek is actually gonna open the middle.
Oh, it's
one here.
Well, it looks like that was Turtle Rock Big Key for thalane there. We get to see Mini Helmosaur number 2, except he actually got the kill on him this time. Alright, so we got thalane trying to preserve a key. by going back through the Bolak sections of Pod here.
Yep. So by Kohrek opening the middle door means that no Harmless Hallway or Vanilla Big Key chest. Vanilla Big Key chest didn't really have anything. And
well, it's also possible that based on the, I'll admit I'm not 100% Key Sanity Pro. It's also possible that based on the key logic that that chest might not be in logic based on the number of small keys that they've gotten. So that might be why both runners were comfortable skipping it.
yeah.
One more small key in hand and they would have been able to full clear everything. So that might have been a acceptable gamble. You know, get that front Vanilla Big Key chest and just kind of leave that one. The hope is that you just don't find another pod small key somewhere else.
Yeah, I believe both Harmless Hallway and the Vanilla Big Key chest requires 5 small keys for it to be in logic.
Nice bomb jump from Kohrek there. Again, I mean, this is top 4 that you're seeing here. This is really solid runners with really solid routing and execution, minus any tournament jitters. All right, so you'll notice that Kohrek did enter pod after Thalane, but is leaving it before him, so his pod routing did save him a bit of time. All right, let's see where he decides to go next.
Nice hammer hits there from Thalane, taking down Helmosaur.
Yep, a very acceptable Helmosaur fight there. I assume he's going to do the mirror checks here, and then consider going into Swamp for the hint tile and maybe that first chest. But that may or may not be worth it in the Galaxy Brain Kohrek you know, calculation of risk. So we'll have to see where he decides to go.
Yeah.
That man is rock solid at routing. We'll see if my guess was correct. Meanwhile, Thalane taking the long way out of pod. I suspect he is going to do Pyramid into Catfish, maybe?
It looks like it, and looks like Kohrek is heading there as well, so they might get a little bit of sync up here again.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the mirror could also check Sora, which isn't very much in logic.
Yeah, mirror was definitely the big find in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
So I suspect these runners are trying to include these mirror locations in with some other overworld checks they need to make. All right, so Thalane opting to check out the Castle Tower chest here.
Yeah, and Kohrek is actually not doing it.
Well, we don't have a single small key, so it's going to be just this one chest and then out.
Never mind, Kohrek just remembered.
Oh, yep, he did.
Oh,
Ooh,
and
tempered.
Probably gonna be pretty happy about that.
You're never sad to see Tempered Sword. That's all a good runner will ever ask for out of a steed for a weapon.
Yeah, what's the use of playing normal if you're gonna run around with Master Sword the entire run?
Exactly. It's almost sacrilege. Alright, so Kohrek does remember the Hyrule Castle play, so it does lose a little bit of walking time for it, unfortunately. Uses the tried and true poke door, alert the guard strat there. It's rewarded with his bacon sword. So I know Thalane, or excuse me, I know Kohrek did the mushroom turn in. Did Thalane do it, or is he saving it for fake powder? My memory is failing me, Walter.
I think that Thalane still has the mushroom and did not turn it on in yet.
Got it. Keep an eye on his menu next time he hits it. All right, let's see what one of two grumpy fishes has here.
Grumpy fish number 1 with a piece of heart.
Sadness. That's why he's grumpy, Walter. Many years ago, someone broke his heart. Now he's giving it out in pieces to anyone that throws stuff into his circle of rocks.
Feels bad, man.
It's the greatest anime betrayal there ever was. All right, so we got a map on Zora Ledge, so that's not particularly interesting in all dungeons. And even in normal mode, it's not as interesting either. So Zora's been in Logic for quite some time, which I did 100% intentionally point out when the gloves were gotten a while ago.
Yeah, we'll soon find out if you borrowed some of that galaxy brain here.
If only.
And Kohrek is skipping it though.
Ooh,
and
a small key.
Gas tower.
Gas
Oh,
tower.
okay, never mind. Kohrek is actually gonna fake flipper up there and get the waterfall as well.
Yep, so he will get these chests out of Logic. So I'd say outside of the Sanctuary chest, Gaff, this might be one of the... could be a bigger routing differentiation between these two runners here. So Flane's going to have a hard time justifying going back, I think, until he gets the flippers or starts really getting desperate for checks.
Yeah, Death Mountain makes a lot of sense. We have a ton of stuff up here we can do, including a dungeon that we can pretty much full clear, except for the basement, but we can get the boss, which is most of the times a little bit more important than that basement.
Yeah, it does get you quite a few checks, too. For those that missed my earlier Sanctuary chest reference, Thalane walked right by the Sanctuary chest for unknown reasons. Luckily, it was just a 10 arrow refill. But I continue to give him crap about it because if that's not friendship, I don't know what is. Oh, the mitts! Big pickup for Thalane.
Yeah,
in Tower
pretty nice. Pretty convenient place to have it as well.
Yeah, right when you're about to do just a whole bunch of Death Mountain checks. The mitts unlock the Dark Death Mountain checks.
Yeah,
so
we don't have the hookshot yet, but it's still pretty nice. We might actually be possible to go into Turtle Rock here.
That's true. We have a chance for the Ether Medallion gotten in the Hype Cave to retroactively increase the Hype value, cave value. So Ice Palace Big Key requiring a bomb. Another sweet bomb jump from Thalane there. Good work.
Yeah, so not the most useful hint. There are a fair amount of chests that requires a bomb.
Alright, so both these runners picked up the Fire Rod kind of in an inconvenient spot after they had already checked Skull Woods. So Kohrek is the first one to say, alright, you unusually large size Fire Rod, it's time to put you to use in Skull Woods. Meanwhile, pretty solid bootless Moldrum fight from Thalane there.
Yep, that big old worm there did not really live up to his reputation today. He'll get another chance later in the scene though.
Pretty much. Alright, Kohrek really wanting to burn down the Skullwoods entrance, gives it an extra shot. Just to show me means business. Meanwhile, Thalane heading over towards the business end of Death Mountain here. What would you say is the most convenient item to find over here? Probably maybe Hookshot, just to get Hookshot Cave out of the way.
Yeah, Hookshot would make a lot of sense, or be nice at the very least, so they don't isolate that hookshot cave.
Yeah, thalane has definitely got a lot of options on his plate with that mid pickup. He's got stuff like Ice Palace, although no keys, so that's not as exciting, but still doable. Misery Mire, big key. Really just waiting to see what some of these Turtle Rock and Misery Mire entrances were, and it ended up being Quake for Turtle Rock. We didn't really mention. Kohrek with a quite reasonable Mothula fight there. Oh wow!
Oh well.
What?
How about that?
Well, we'll take it. Wow, so that Hera play for thalane leading into hookshot is pretty huge. So he is going to be able to full check this area. And then the world is his oyster at this point. He's got a lot of things that he can do.
One could say so.
Maybe I'm just hungry for seafood, Walter.
It's not unreasonable.
Maybe Kohrek will find a fish sandwich. Nope, just 10 arrows. All right.
I imagine that Kohrek will join thalane up here on Death Mountain right very soon as well, because they don't have too much to shake. And
no, I definitely respect the Skullwoods play by Kohrek here. It was kind of semi-orphan just due to the way the fire rod was laid out, so just getting it done. The only way that could have possibly been faster is if he came back with boots later.
Ooh,
and
there's a flippers in Spiral Cave, yeah. Ice Palace in one?
Yeah. Yeah, that puts Ice Palace in logic, actually. Yeah, the old Resident Sleeper Spike Cave. Well, I guess, yeah, I consider Resident Sleeper Spike Cave to be hook shotless, bootless Spiral Cave, excuse me. Spike Cave. So he had hook shot, but still.
So something I'm not sure about is... Never mind. I was going to speak about the Ice Palace Big Key, but there it is.
How dare you attempt to make a really logical point about keys and key sanity, Walter? The seed was like, hold my beer, I got you. Alright, Kohrek setting up the always tricky Spectacle Rock bomb jump. I believe he's got it. Yes, he does. Good work. Alright, well, it's Ice Palace Helper over here in the Paradox Cave.
Yeah, not a lot of reason to not go there, it feels like right now. You have even the small key now to help you out with the routing.
Yeah, I mean, it was 100% doable without it, with that big key. And even technically without it. But now it's pretty free.
Yeah, and with the cane you could even skip the bomb jump if you want to.
Well, we've also, I mean, thalane's got a lot on his plate. You know, Swamp Palace is a thing with our mirror and fresh hook shots. Misery Mire area checks.
I think we can only... I don't think we found small keys in Swamp Palace yet, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good call. Thanks. See, I knew I was going to mess up a
bundles.
key at some point. Thanks for calling me on that, Walter.
We have a pretty good chance of being able to full clear Mire, though.
Yeah, definitely. And as you mentioned, Ice Palace is a thing. Alright, so Kohrek will be picking up, or rather did just pick up his mitts, so he's pretty happy about that. Gonna be finishing up Tower of Hera. Meanwhile, thalane picking up that small key we saw. There's a Misery Mire key. So that is entirely too many Misery Mire keys.
Yeah.
We're good, game. Thanks.
I believe the fire-locked side of Mire requires 3 small keys in terms of the logic. But that's pretty much it. Don't really need the keys.
Oh yeah, there's a locked door downstairs, isn't there? Yeah, I think you're right. Alright, so thalane making a Spike Cave check here. He's thinking really hard about how he wants to not die here. He's got a fairy in a bottle, so like he'll be fine no matter what he does, but preserving...
Yeah, probably gonna have to use that fairy here.
That's a nice, clear picture of amusement for me is Kohrek raising a crystal of victory above his head on the left side, and thalane super dying with a planned death on the right side. I enjoy that. It's good. That's good stuff right there.
I like this term, super dying.
Yeah, it's where you die, but not really. So I guess it doesn't really live up to the name.
Faked its own death.
Still at large. All right, so thalane considered all the options we discussed and picked probably the smarter one, or at least the one that he thought was smarter, and is checking out this Misery Mire. Really wants to see what the medallion is here. All right, well, how's our hype cave? All right, our hype cave is officially garbage, folks. 3 out of 10. Ether medallion not required. C-. Worth noting, though, that we can enter... Oh, there's our Swamp Callus small key there, Walter.
Yeah, now we're cooking with gas.
We are. Taste the heat, not the... Or taste the heat and the meat, I always say, Walter.
That probably makes sense.
Wait, that's propane, never mind. It's taste the meat, not the heat. All the King of the Hill fans are writing me angry fan mail right now. Speaking of the heat, thalane also cooking with heat. Busting out that bombos to open up Misery Mire here. Due to the key counts that we have, this should be a pretty smooth experience. Just gotta grab all these chests. We don't have boots, so we're not gonna see any super cool Misery Mire Wizrobe Room strats here, unfortunately. thalane just kind of mows everything down with sword beams instead. Kohrek with the swag. I dropped my bomb. Oops, psych. I didn't really strats. Good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Alright, well, thalane was having trouble controlling his propane rod there. Took a couple of unnecessary tiles to the face, but that's alright. Meanwhile, Kohrek following a similar path that thalane did with some minor variations here. We'll be picking up his flippers soon from Spiral Cave, which is not at all Spike Cave. Twitch chat is suggesting that perhaps thalane enjoys getting tiles to the face. I can't really speak to that. I'm not here to judge. Whatever thalane likes doing in his free time when he's practicing seeds is his own business.
To each their own.
Exactly. Alright, what's our Misery Mile hint tile? Ooh, that is a pretty big hint, actually.
Yeah, it's...
thalane just walked right
nice
into the spikes.
Probably
sorry,
like spikes to the face too, then.
Yeah, exactly. We're learning a lot about thalane over the course of this seed. But that is the green pendant turn-in. In all dungeons, you end up having to get all the pendants anyway, but not having to work your way back to Sahasrahla to turn that in. Knowing that is very nice. It's just something else you can take off of your mind. Meanwhile, thalane working the rest of his way through Misery Mire. Alright, a useless Skullwood small key. Thanks for nothing, Misery Mire. You're dead to me. Alright, so Kohrek picks up his Paradox Cave items.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they decide to go from here, because this is really the time when the sea really started to open up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of multiple different branches you can go in, and yeah, it looks like Kohrek is saying, "I'm going to Ice Palace instead."
Yep. Yeah, I think he was thinking the same thing you were, Walter, when with the Ice Palace big key and then the easier kind of the helper small keys for Ice Palace popped up. He's like, "All right, I hear you, Seed. Let's do this."
Yeah, in a non-key sanity, it's quite usual to see runners just like skip Ice Palace for a while because it's really nice to go mode. But in key sanity, it's like it's quite rare you get to go mode a lot of dungeons, so you might as well just go into them anyways and just full clear them. It's like 8 items in here, which is a lot more than 3 than it normally is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Thalane, what are you doing? Skipping another item.
What?
The bridge chest in.
I'm so confused. Maybe
Oh, let's hope that is nothing important.
Maybe he's was he planning on doing the hookshot grab and just ended up not doing it?
I think so, yeah. And setting up and executing the Spooky Mire without the boots, though, that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we're actually we're seeing a lot of really nice nice tech out of the lane here. Just really showing off his you know, his skill and knowledge at this game. Why I don't mean it, the lane. There you go. God, I'm trying to compliment you. Quit getting bunny beamed. But yeah, that's a very interesting trick to pull off.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
And
Kohrek
in
having
Ice
some
Palace, we
stealth problems.
saw a pretty required item there in Ice Palace, by the way. The small key to Castle Tower, 1 out of 2 that we're gonna have to get.
Yep, that is 100% required.
And Kohrek is saying, I'm gonna full clear this dungeon, so I'm just gonna skip the bomb jump.
Yep, exactly. Not bomb jumping there actually makes it easier to walk across the crystal switch lock locations right in front of the boss door. And since you have Canis Samaria, it means you don't have to do any crazy walkarounds or anything. See chat discussing the Ganon's Tower Big Key. We did see a hint early on that the Ganon's Tower Big Key is held in plain sight, which means it's in one of many locations where it's just visible.
Okay, so Thalane's seeing the either seeing the compass not being correct, or just remembering that they skipped an item and going back in.
Yeah, I'm sure he at this point I'm sure he just forgot.
Yeah. This is no sanctuary chest.
Alright, Thieves Town Big Key and Ice Palace. So that's 2 required keys we've gotten out of this place, and we haven't even gotten all the chests yet.
Oh man, should have just committed to skipping it.
I mean, maybe he was like, I already hard committed to skipping the sanctuary chest, so you know why add more to my trouble?
Get some extra excitement in your everyday life.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going into desert. We cannot full clear this in any sense, but we can
boots
check.
Requires 3 pendants. Does that mean what I think it means, Walter?
Did it say that?
It might. I think that means that boots are on chat's favorite location.
And we just saw a cape being boots locked. So
Yep.
I'm really interested in what's on that, what's that, what's it called? Bumper cave, that key. We're gonna have to full clear all of the pendants anyways, so it's not as bad as it would be in a normal Ganon seed, but...
Well, Ice Palace has definitely paid dividends for Kohrek here. He's gotten 2 required keys and some very useful knowledge via hint tiles.
Yeah. Ice Palace is definitely paying off at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to say who's ahead right now, but given the Ice Rod. Jeez, Ice Palace is just loaded. So it's hard to say who's ahead right now based on progression because Kohrek has done Skull Woods and Thalane's done Mire, but you know, all these items that they've been getting out of Ice Palace, I'd say if Thalane wasn't directly on his way there like he is now, I would be giving Kohrek a slight nod. It's a pretty lore-friendly ice rod though. You know, I always like it when things like make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's another 3-foot rod that he can somehow try to fit in his backpack. Good luck with that.
Maybe they have like a magical bag, like in Harry Potter or something.
Yeah, it's a
It's fit
classic
everything
Dungeons
in
and
there.
Dragons bag of holding. Oh, Thalane using pleb gold sword strats in the Pengator room. It's alright. He still gets his castle tower key regardless. Alright, so Kohrek entering the cold stare fight. Given all the safeties they have in normal mode, shouldn't be much of a problem. We'll see how efficient he can get this kill though. Got a little away from him there, but still not too bad here. Okay, now it's... God, Kohrek, please. Okay, bust out the potion. Definitely better safe than sorry here. A death at cold stare costs a ton of time.
Okay, so Ice
Thalane
Palace
having...
is a crystal, which means that Turtle Rock and Desert has to be our other 2 pendants. So we know which dungeons we need to clear if we want to get those boots later.
Did we see... I'm afraid I was distracted. Did we see what was on the torch in Desert, Walther? I'm going to throw you under the bus. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, it was the cape, and we
It
do
was a
have a
cape?
small key on Bumper Ledge.
Got it. Oh, that's right, because, yeah, you were very, very correctly discussing what that small key is for. Alright, thanks, Chad. Chad and Walther got my back. I'm an old man. I can't remember or see things.
Maybe that's because you're stuck in a dark cave.
You're my lantern, buddy. Thanks for being there. Alright, Hobo's got a key. Turtle Rock. Alright, so the Turtle Rock key counter is, I believe, at the magic number of 3, if memory serves.
Should be, yeah. So where does Kohrek go from here? It's gonna head to Feast Town, it looks like. Makes sense, you can full clear the back of the dungeon.
Yep, we've got our big key and small key. Might as well get her done. Kohrek has had to piecemeal his Village of Outcasts checks. Did a clear once, and then had to come back with the fire rod for Skull Woods, and is now having to come back for Thieves Town. But given the way the keys have laid out in this seed, it would have been pretty hard to do otherwise. Are we gonna see hot spin into the staircase tech from Thalane? No, nope. He tried though. That's what matters. That's the important part.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts, right?
It is. Does pick up his ice rod. He is routing this a little bit differently than Kohrek did. Opted to do the bomb jump. So he'll have to... I believe he's just got the chest that shall be unnamed left in Ice Palace, so... Whereas Kohrek opted to do the bomb jump across where one of the Freezor rooms was. Does save you a little bit of time walking. Alright, it's time to see what is in the upstairs of Thieves Town. Alright, actually, Kohrek picking up a pretty useful hint in Thieves Town there. He has not been to Misery Mire yet and has just gotten the hint that the Firelock portions of Misery Mire are both just useless cash. So that's actually going to save him some time on his Mire clear.
Yeah, it's not gonna get that green pennant hint, but...
Oh, you're right, though.
That's...
That
But
could
I think,
be,
I think that's probably okay.
Yeah, I mean, he'll... oh, wow, Quake being in the upstairs of Thieves Town. So with, I believe the runners are at 3 small keys for Turtle Rock. So that puts Turtle Rock in. on the docket, so to speak. I have a feeling that Kohrek will probably do Misery Mire before Total Rock, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah. That would make sense, because that way they know they're not gonna leave a chest behind.
Alright, we'll see if Thalane, with his gold sword... Wow, a very nice cold stare from Thalane there. I'd say any advantage that Kohrek might have gotten from his routing choices inside of Ice Palace might have been negated by the speed at which Thalane just destroyed cold stare there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what's further in. Alright, so useless shield. The big chest. Thieves Town.
If you were walking around outside and there was like raining fireballs, I don't think you would call that a useless shield.
That's true.
Just to be fair.
But I feel like you're overestimating my arm strength. Like I would hold up the shield to stop the flaming fireballs. And, you know, it would crush my arm, and then I would, you know, drop the shield, and then I'd be in trouble.
Fair enough.
One thing I think I didn't think of is that I think Thalane's alternate routing through Ice Palace means I think he skipped one of the hints that Kohrek picked up.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I don't think he... I remember there being a nice hint inside Ice Palace, so Kohrek's thorough route, including all the hint tiles, might have given him a bit of an advantage there.
Okay, so what I'm wondering right now is, do we know how many plain sight items we have left?
Well, there is a big key I believe we saw in the library. So I'm
did we?
I'm pretty sure there was, yeah. So I think that odds are pretty good that that's probably
the GT big key.
The GT big key. And given that boots are on pedestal, that is pretty relevant.
Yeah, actually, no matter which big key that is, unless it's for Skullwoods, we're gonna need it. So that would mean the boots would be required in that case.
Yep, very true. Yeah, I think that's the only useless big key that we've got left.
Yeah, it cannot be the Desert Palace big key because that's a pendant. So it would have to be Ganon's Tower or Skullwood's big key. And seeing the hint would make a lot of sense that it's the GT big key then.
Alright, there's our Hera basement small key in the hammer peg game. Bootsless pegs feels no Nikes, man.
So if Thalane really did miss that hint and is now doing Skullwoods without the book, it's not going to be able to check ped now. So it's going to have to do a blind pull later, or maybe if they have the book at that point, it might even do something crazy and like check ped before pulling it.
Alright, a slightly cleaner, quite reasonable mouthfeel of fight from Thalane there. Alright, so these runners are now tied up on dungeons again. Thalane is up Misery Mire, and Kohrek is up Thieves Town. Alright, Specialist Chest, just a useless map.
Kohrek is gonna turn in that green pendant.
Yeah, there was a hint for it, but I believe that was the Misery Mire hint that Thalane saw in the Spike Room, I believe.
Yeah.
So since he hasn't seen that, he will be turning this in. I think he'll be rewarded with arrows.
Yeah. So it's not a really super big deal. It's probably gonna be
No, it's a huge deal. No, just kidding. You're right.
Huge deal. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to.
But it's also a huge deal that Kohrek can skip the the left side of Mire though. So it kind of goes. They kind of negate each other.
Well, normally I'd say that the dungeon difference is tipped towards Thalane, but yeah, with Kohrek being able to skip the left side of Meyer, and also hopefully Kohrek won't forget that one chest that Thalane did, because Thalane did lose a bit of time having to go back in and check that chest that only rewarded him with a compass.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that Thalane is going to finish up Thieves Town here, and then likely make a play into perhaps Swamp, because both these runners now have the ever-required Swamp Palace small key.
Yeah, Swamp would make a lot of sense for sure.
And with 3, despite our tracker, I believe both runners now have, at least I know Thalane does, have 3 Turtle Rock small keys, so that dungeon is also on the docket as well. Alright, another bootless Wizrobe room here in Meyer. Alright, we'll see how Kohrek decides to route this. He does have the knowledge that the left side of Meyer here is just useless rubies. So yeah, he's going to remember that he can hookshot on his way over, yep. And doesn't even bother with a skull pot small key because he knows he's got enough.
Yeah, one of our runners forgetting to check that chest, while the other one almost forgot not to check it.
They're just overcompensating for each other. Meanwhile, Thalane has picked up his Quake on the top of Thieves Town, thus completing the medallion trifecta. Kohrek having a little menu problems with his bombs there. He was just so excited that he didn't have to flip the crystal switch with his routing that he just had to have a menu party to celebrate. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Thalane having his own party with the fire shield. Hopefully his Shy Guy has better arm strength than I do.
That menuing, by the way, that's what every single menu for me looks like.
Does that include the 5 or 10 seconds of tilt immediately afterwards from menuing so badly?
Probably.
All right, so we got Kohrek's Vitreous here. Just a little too low on a couple of those spins. Does miss some of those top eyes, but that's all right. He will just pew them down, not with a hook shot, but with a bow. Meanwhile, Thalane taking on Blind. Using spin strats. Let go of it just a little too early, so didn't quite get that hit in. But still, a pretty clean fight.
Yeah, so we might see a thing coming up here again if both our runners decide to go either to Turtle Rock or to
Wow, they almost
Swamp
spun their
Palace.
swords at the exact same time, Walter, you're right. Alright, Thalane's setting up for fake powder, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a neat little trick for those unaware.
And Kohrek heading back in again. Did he forget the Loppet chest, maybe? I think.
Well, I think he wanted to go straight to the back and not have to worry about flipping the crystal switch, and is now going back in because he didn't do the rest of the small chests in this dungeon.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, the dual Swamp Palace and Stereo dream is dead, unfortunately. Well, I guess it's not dead, it's still possible. But Kohrek knows that the... gotta flick this, there you go. Does know that the left side of Misery Mire here is useless, so he will just pick up his chests on the right side over here and then be on his merry way. So Floyd picking up his Tower of Hera key.
Yeah, I missed when Kohrek got that. That is actually pretty... could be pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's down at the bottom of that Hera basement. We are still missing a Castle Tower small key.
Yeah, and that's really the only key that we could find up on that bumper ledge so far.
Pretty reasonably confident we know where Ganon's Tower big key is, given the few remaining options it could be. So yeah, I think that Castle Tower small key is definitely going to be the difference maker here.
And there's a 5th pod key for Kohrek, so if he ever want to go back there and check the rest of the chest, the 2 that he skipped earlier, he now has enough keys to do it.
Very true. Meanwhile, Thalane's fake powder only nets him 10 arrows. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, fake powder only has something good when you don't check it.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, and there's actually the last pod key. We didn't see the side when Thalane was over here because they didn't have that small key, yeah, but nothing important. Really.
Flame was so excited to show off his strength live on stream by lifting up that heavy boulder that he forgot to carry his chest along with him. That's what you get for showboating, Thalane. Meanwhile, Kohrek heading into the desert here to pick up his items. He will finally join the Butter Sword Club. The old cholesterol club. Alright, Flame catching in the checks that Kohrek did earlier with his mirror.
So Kohrek leaving desert. It's interesting. Normally, you would find desert to be boots locked, but this time around, the boots are desert locked instead.
Yep, Kohrek was about to leave the area before I think he remembered he still hasn't checked Checkerboard Cave, so he's doing so now. Meanwhile, Flame about to find his useless arrows, I believe, in Gary's lunchbox. Oh, it was a map. That's it.
It's a map that leads to the arrows in the Hera basement. Confirmed.
Yeah, Hera basement is definitely. Well, I mean, keep in mind with all those pod small keys, we still have harmless Hellway chest and pod left too, don't we?
Yeah.
So I believe that is a thing.
We're pretty much getting the swamp sink here. As close as you could hope, at least.
Yep. Oh, also, while we were discussing keys, I just realized we neglected to mention that we have not found the Desert Palace big key yet either.
Yeah. Yeah, Desert Palace big key, the last key to Tartarok could be needed as well. That's pretty much it. We have enough keys for... good.
Thalane literally just spent all this time. Classic hint tile right there. That's good stuff.
But yeah, we do have enough small keys to not have to worry about Ganon's Tower at the very least. 2 is the magical number for small keys for Ganon's Tower to have to full clear it.
Yep. Alright, so, Walther, your dreams of a stereo swamp palace were not completely dead. It's just not as synced as you might like it to be.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to make sure that Thalane takes a few hits to sync it up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's putting on a good show right there. It would be rude not to do it. Wait, it's a tournament. Never mind. We can't do that. It was a good idea though. All right, so I think we're things that we're still looking for. We're looking for that Castle Tower small key. We are looking for the Desert Palace big key. And until we find that Desert Palace big key, we will be unable to get the boots, which most likely has the Ganon's Tower big key in the library.
Yeah.
Now, it is
You know something
possible
we
that
can
both the
do?
Desert Palace... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Walter.
I was just gonna say, you know what we could do after we clear this dungeon?
Go out for ice cream?
We could, yeah. And we can
Sweet.
take that ice cream with us to Ganon's Tower.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, the old Ganon's Tower dip in Key Sanity before you finish the rest of your dungeons. There are a lot of chests in Ganon's Tower. Any one of them could have juicy, delicious progression.
So what's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream, I'm a big fan of cookie dough ice cream.
Yeah, my favorite is, at least when I play Link to the Past vanilla.
Wow, you asked me what my favorite ice cream was. I was like, where's he going with this? That was a long walk for a vanilla joke, but you know what? I support it. Good work. All right, so all that fuss for the Swamp Palace Big Key earlier, and all it gave us was just a lame compass. And so Kohrek heading straight to the back of Swamp Palace. Did we get a hint about Swamp Palace that I'm not remembering, Walter?
No,
Or is this just the play he's making?
I think he's just checking the back first. He only needs, what, 2 items to be in go mode at this point? So it's not unreasonable that he might find it back here.
Yeah, very true. And instead, he's rewarded with the Riot Leg Shield. We'll take it.
Oh, there's a small key for Turtle Rock. Well then. We can full clear Turtle Rock and even get the a lava chest.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. The long linear nature of Turtle Rock means being able to get those done if you're still looking for items all at once is quite useful. Alright, so with no boots, no special swag strats for Argus here. So we'll just...
Still making pretty short work here.
Oh yeah. Nice quick kill phase 2 there by Kohrek. Pretty solid. Oh, there's a big key. Oh, it's the Desert Palace big key!
Oh, is that gonna make Kohrek too excited to go back and to get that last small key to Turtle Rock? He might not need that small key as long as there's nothing in the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, it's... yeah, I think that answers your question, because I think he's going straight there now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, interesting that putting off Turtle Rock has paid out pretty well for both of these runners here. They're going to be able to kind of get their business done. Because basically we're just looking for the Castle Tower small key, since we know that the big key that we saw in the library is the Ganon's Castle key.
Yeah, the big advantage that Kohrek has with that, though, is he knows where the boots is, and thalane does not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. So we have not emphasized that enough.
As soon as
clear of Ice Palace, getting him that hint that the boots are on pedestal of all places is going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, as soon as Kohrek gets the Castle Tower small key, he can pretty much go mode the rest of the seed. While thalane is still gonna full clear the dungeons, probably looking for the boots.
Yep. Yeah, thalane still manages to get quite a few of the puffs there. Without the boots, it's good work. He is out of magic though, so he has to do pleb sword spin strats. But yeah, that hint tile in Ice Palace that Kohrek got due to his routing choices in Ice Palace is going to pay dividends for him.
Yeah.
The later, or rather, the sooner he finds the Castle Tower key, the sooner it will be go mode for him. or at least no mode for him.
Yeah, and even if that big key for some reason is not the big key to GT, I think the only other one we have left would be the torching in Ganon's tower, so it would have to be boost lock.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately bad phase 1 landmill for Kohrek there. Does manage to recover pretty nicely though. Butter Sword makes the rest of that fight pretty lenient if you run out of magic. Meanwhile, thalane heading over to finish off Desert Palace here is a little bit behind Kohrek at this point, both in knowledge and progression through these dungeons, but it's still anyone's race. This Castle Tower small key could make or break the run for either one of these runners.
Yeah, and since thalane, in their mind is 2 items away from go mode, decides to go in to check the big chest first. Because that's very likely something they will not skip. It's even possible that like something that Kohrek could do would be like go mode Tart Rock and hope that a small key and Bump Ledge would be Agate Tower key, but that would be kind of a ballsy play to do, I think.
Yeah, that would be wow, that would be incredible actually. But yeah, that small key on Bumper Cave area is definitely something on the back of their minds. There's still a lot of Garbo small keys out there though. Oh, Kohrek gets Dead Rock. That has got to be about as close to being in your way as possible for that Dead Rock there. But yeah, there's there's a couple of Ice Palace small keys and a few other ones as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and with the combined knowledge from both our runners, it's actually only 4 small keys left, I think.
I will bow to your superior knowledge on that one, Walter.
It would be 5 for Kohrek, since he didn't get the last Tart Rock key.
It's pretty good odds. Better than our previous lottery joke example.
Yeah, and I don't think the lottery makes money by having good odds, though.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, at this point, I don't think Kohrek is going to do anything but full clear Turtle Rock on his way. You just can't risk the Castle Tower key. That seems like a strange all-in gamble. That is very against how Kohrek has been routing the rest of this game.
Yeah, for sure.
The real question is how soon do you think he'll just decide to do Hera Tower Basement? I would assume at this point it will be after any sort of Ganon's Tower Basement checks, just due to the volume.
Yeah. I would say that seems likely.
Unless they were feeling nervous that trying to metagame that their opponent did or did not do that check. That would be the only reason I could think of for that.
Yeah, I don't really remember when... Okay, yeah, both of them actually had to go into Hera before they could get the small key, so both of them would have known that they didn't get the basement the first trip in. So I would say it's a pretty fair assumption to think that both runners have skipped that for quite a while. Kohrek is skipping the Fire Rod section of Tart Rock though so far. Might just be something that they do after they beat the boss if there's nothing here in the back.
Yeah, but that's actually smart routing, because Kohrek, I think, correctly recognizes that he is a castle small key away from go mode, so it's kind of the equivalent of doing doing the front of, or rather doing the back of Swamp first before any other checks or what have you.
Yeah. So thalane is going up now as well.
Yep, definitely.
Tart Rock, yeah. Has all of the small keys. That's probably the best bet if you're a thalane fan right now. To see a Castle Tower key in the vanilla big key location would be huge.
Yep. Yeah, the chest that Kohrek is presently skipping right now, that you can see on your screen in the center of that lava room, is the money chest if you're a thalane fan. This Thalane will be getting that check in. Yeah, I did misspeak earlier when I was counting small keys. They definitely only had a different amount when they came in. Alright, Buttersword making that check. Are making those poke kills pretty easy.
Yeah, they better try and get the most out of that Buttersword right now, because that's something they're not going to be able to have in the seed they're playing tomorrow against each other, which is hard mode.
Yep, and Kohrek correctly going for that chest first, since he's one item away from go mode, before doing the Mimic Cave check, since it takes longer.
Oh wait, thalane actually only has 3 small keys. He must have missed one then.
Did he? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he must have missed one that Kohrek picked up.
What, are you trying to say that all hope is lost if you're a Thalane fan, Kappa?
Not necessarily.
Oh no, Thalane. Why do you keep doing that when I'm making fun of you? Because now I feel bad. Alright. He gets the torchlight. Yeah, I'm curious what, there must have been a key we just assumed that he got, based on the routing that he ended up not picking up.
Yeah.
Alright, so the right side of the, fire bar room, or not fire bar room, the roller bar room in Turtle Rock not having anything. Kohrek having, roller bar troubles of his own there. Letting out the old sword slashes of frustration.
Trying to think back, and I think maybe there was a Turtle Rock key in the waterfall cave.
You might be right. I honestly don't remember, my friend. But the facts remain that they have the same number of keys going into this race, so that internal Turtle Rock chest is going to go unchecked.
Yep.
Kohrek! Gee, I was worried about soft locking there, but I guess his health wasn't quite that low. Alright, so we got a bunch of checks here on the laser bridge. Wow, double compass.
Oh, it was on Hobar apparently, which thalane did skip.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thanks, Twitch chat. You guys are awesome.
Oh, big key for Skullwoods.
Oh, yep, there we
You
go.
know what
So
that
is
means.
GT big key on the library confirmed.
Yep.
Kind of irrelevant for the discussion anyway, because both of them require the boots. At least both locations that we had left anyway.
What an amazing, disgusting seed this would have been if it wasn't all dungeons.
Yeah, you are right, sir.
See, this, kids, is why we play all dungeons.
Well, I mean, it's worth the discussion. All Dungeons does definitely smooth out variance, which is why you'll see, or rather, Key Sanity All Dungeons definitely smooths out variance in seeds. That's why you'll see a lot of the top runners preferring it. Meanwhile, Kohrek taking on Trinex. No boots, so we couldn't do any fancy quick kills. But still a pretty nice fight. So for those of us that are, those of you rather, that are joining us later, we did get a hint in Ice Palace that the boots are on the pedestal. So, and that is a hint that Kohrek got, but his opponent Thalane did not. And given the fact that the Ganon's Tower Big Key is on the library, that means the boots are required. So that is a bit of knowledge that Kohrek has over Thalane currently. So given his slight lead in dungeon clearing and that knowledge, we have to give Kohrek a little bit of a nod for a lead right now.
Yeah. Kohrek also decided to skip the fire rod side completely. Not gonna hurt him.
Didn't hurt him, but that's an interesting gamble there.
Yeah, it's gonna head straight for pedestal here and taking the warp here to the Dark World first, so they can just get that big chest in Skullwoods.
All right, what possible reason could Kohrek have for heading towards Skullwoods right now? Is there anything on a location that people like to meme, Walther?
You mean the Skullwoods big chest?
Yeah, this has got to be it. Oh man, it was just a piece of heart.
Man,
that's.
I'm sorry, chat.
I know,
we
it's
did
disappointing. Wait, he's gonna flute here, right? There's nothing left to get.
Probably, yeah.
Wait, he's... Oh wait, he wanted this $5, right? That's gotta be why he's here. No, he walked right past it.
Maybe he's gonna do some secret tree pull over here or something?
That's gotta be it. Wait, what's this? Oh my god. Can it be?
He already had Master Sword.
Yeah, it's the Sword of Evil's Bane. I don't understand. He's already got the Butter Sword. Oh
Wait,
my god,
what
it
are
was
those?
boots. Absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Alright, so that key piece of knowledge there is definitely, again, Kohrek's advantage from that hint. So, unless Thalane makes a Galaxy Brain play at a pedestal right away, it's going to be the hunt for the Castle Tower small key. Odds are pretty good that it's probably in Ganon's Tower just based on volume of checks that are in there, but there are quite a few one-off locations that both of these runners have skipped.
Now, I don't know if Kohrek checked the bumper cave or not. I think Thalane did, but I'm not sure if Kohrek did.
I'm curious if we got that visible small key from the bumper cape ledge. Is anyone going to make the play for it, or are they going to...
He's gonna check some of the boots locations here.
Yeah, get those flanctuary chests done, the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. They're relatively quick and on the way up to GT. Not having to explore Ganon's Tower is a pretty huge gamble to make, so I definitely understand why Kohrek is making these checks. Is Thalane making the play?
But he doesn't even have a book. He's not gonna know what's on here.
Yeah. He's already got all 4 Master Swords. I don't understand what's going on, Walther. This is huge. Thalane is back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Because he is making the play to... I cannot believe it. He's gonna pick up his boots. Thalane.
Yeah. I guess it kind of makes sense. He doesn't have too many places to go right now. Oh, he did read it. Nice.
He somebody banned that man. He's got all 3 pennants and he read the front. Doesn't even have a book. I'm angry at you right now, Thalane. Oh wow. Now he just wanted to. He's trying to impress the ladies and/or men by showing off his knowledge of ancient Hylian script. Wow. All right, so. It is a contest to see who can come up with the Castle Tower small key.
Yeah, and Kohrek is heading to Ganon's Tower.
Is it possible, Walther, that the second Castle Tower key could be in the Castle Tower? Have we considered that option?
I don't think we have. No, it could definitely be vanilla.
Yeah, because there's one. They got one key. Like both the runners checked the front.
Yeah.
With 0 keys, so it could very well be in there.
And now Kohrek is going to check those chests he left.
This is actually huge. Wow, this race just went from... I think Kohrek might have an advantage to it's anybody's game, because now Kohrek is going to spend the time to go back into Turtle Rock, so this is time he's losing on his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Thalane's still got a Death Mountain climb ahead of him here, but it's definitely gotten a lot closer. Wow, this is incredible.
Oh, wait. Thalane is making the play for the cape. He's going to check the bumper cape before heading up.
Oh, wow. Okay, this could be it.
This
scene could hinge right here.
Yeah, it should be 20% chance that... No, even...
I trust your math, Walter.
25% chance.
You gave
Never
me...
trust me with basic math.
You gave me correct lottery numbers earlier in the seed, and then you were counting keys. You're a brave man for doing math live on stream. I salute you. Alright, I'm pretty excited right now. This is incredible. Thalane's making a play for a visible small key that requires quite a bit of work.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
But at least
Kohrek
he knows it's a small key.
He got out his calculator on the way out, and he did the math, and he knows that there's more chests in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. If anyone wanna, we don't have a big key guessing game here or anything, but if you guys wanna guess if the small key is gonna be in here, I guess go ahead. There's no leaderboard for it though.
Yeah. What chest is the Castle Tower small key on? It would be extra funny if it was on the torch, actually. But Kohrek's going straight up. Wow. What a player. He's just going, assuming that the key is going to be on the way up here. All right, I'm getting a lot of checks in Twitch chat. We'll see if you're right. This is the most, like, the weirdest key guessing game, because not only are we not guessing the big key, we're not even doing the bottom of we're not even doing the bottom of Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I guess you guys. I hope you guys guessed something lower than 5.
Yeah, exactly. The chest that shall not be named is actually relevant for once, Walter.
So maybe Kohrek did see that key and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the top here first and then head over there." I'm not sure.
All right, hold on to your butts, everyone, because we're about 10 seconds away from finding out if Thalane just took a minute and threw it in the garbage, or if this was next level play. You know, maybe Kohrek is doing this section first because he plans on doing the exact same key check that Thalane is doing right now.
Could be.
If he is, it actually makes a lot of sense.
If it's in the basement, though. And it's the Castle Tower small key. That's go mode for
Thalane. He goes from behind to the soul ped check to the small key soul read. Wow, absolutely incredible. So Thalane is going to get to go mode. All right, so this race is going to be incredibly close, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves Kohrek, who is very likely planning on going to get the same key that Thalane was, and is just hoping that maybe it would be in these other chests on the way up to Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Thalane takes the cape, goes and gets the key right away, putting all doubt aside, and says, "Nope, that's it."
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Really solid routing choice from Kohrek here, if that is indeed his plan. It might not be. I could be reading into him too much, but that might be his plan. Wow. All right. It's hard to tell who's ahead. I should have gotten on a stopwatch and timed how long it took Thalane to do the cape, obtain, and do the desert check, because I got nothing, Walter.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice way to start off the semifinals. This is only game 1. At the very least 3 we're gonna see.
I hope it goes to game 5 and every game is as awesome as this one is.
That would be amazing.
Alright, so Thalane is going to... So now, this room here, Kohrek is going to lose time on his opponent. Kohrek's still grabbing keys because he doesn't know if he's going to have to come back here again.
Yeah, he still has enough small keys, though. Pretty sure he didn't need that, but probably just grabbing it to be safe, in case he miscalculated or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick kill if you're not 100% sure.
Yeah, you don't want to find yourself in a position where you have to go up Ganon's Tower to grab a small key. That's probably worse than going up Ganon's Tower without a small key.
Thalane, your mimic room, killing me.
Killing the mimics too, though.
That's true. And the chest that shall not be named has nothing. So yeah, if you guessed 1 through what, 5? You already lost because it wasn't even in here.
Yeah. Yeah, -1 was the right lotto number for tonight. No one ever guessed a negative number.
Exactly. I guessed the square root of -4, and the game exploded. It was an irrational choice, I know. Speaking of math jokes, Kohrek showing off his geometry skills with the Aga 2 fight.
Getting some double hits that gets eaten because they hit at the same time. Aga 2 is down.
He
Aga
is.
1, however, is still very much alive.
All right, so this is going to be the key moment here, because Kohrek basically needs to go immediately to the checks that will lead him to the key that thalane already picked up.
Yeah.
And this race will continue to be incredibly close. He's leaving.
Looks, yeah, he's making the right choice so far, not jumping down to Ganon. Good. Don't fight that muscle memory. Guard's trying to poke him into the portal, and Kohrek is going to grab that cape. He is gunning for that key.
All right, this is incredible.
This is
this
is pretty amazing.
I mean, because what he's going to pick up this key, and then keep in mind both these runners have. There's some more execution left because they've got a castle tower that they're going to have to go through.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't really tell you who's ahead right now.
Oh, thalane running out of magic.
Oh no.
Ah!
Has exactly enough to light all the torches. I can light them again.
Yeah, okay, I forgot about
enough
that.
magic.
Good call. I was about to say he's had a really solid gauntlet so far and might have picked up some time over Kohrek, but
yeah, that time could be super important because yeah, Kohrek is probably gonna be in Aga Tower before thalane at this point.
Yeah, this is a race that's going to be decided probably within a minute or two, if not even less.
Yeah, and that's quite a lot from being all Dungeonsky sanity.
Oh yeah, I mean when you've got a 2-hour seed and the difference is that small, that just shows the quality of these runners here. They didn't get all the way to the top 4 by being slouches, that's for sure. Alright, so thalane does gain some time on Kohrek in this section of Ganon's tower because of these areas he can skip. Alright, Kohrek is about to be rewarded. Oh god, this is gonna be so close.
Yeah, this is gonna be really close.
Thalane!
Thalane, what are you doing?
Oh man. Good stuff. Respecting the memes.
Yeah.
Maybe he was hoping for like a heart container or something.
Yeah, it could actually be hoping for silvers because we don't have that yet.
Wow, this is going to be close. I mean, thalane will get teleported right to the location he needs to enter. So he just needs to have a really solid Aga 2 fight here.
Yeah.
This is so close. Alright, so I think that was a 1-2. Plus we've got the duck cutscene we have to watch too. There we go.
What is this?
My god, are they literally going to enter it at almost exactly the same time? Yeah, Korek's going to maybe have like 5 or 10 seconds on.
Yeah. Thalane also needs to do a mirror transition as well.
Oh, yep, that's true. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 hour and 54 minutes, both these runners are mere screens away from each other. If this is a precursor to the rest of this best of 5, I can hardly wait. thalane with the swag bounce over the pyramid hole there.
So I believe thalane was exactly 20 seconds behind going into Aga Tower here.
Well, actually,
so
wait.
Needs to make up.
The fact that thalane just mirrored there, I just realized he's going to have a mirror porter there. Does that make any difference?
No, because killing Aga takes you right to the Dark World.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. I'm forgetting about like games and how they work.
But yeah, 20 seconds is what thalane needs to make up. Either here in the tower or on Ganon. Getting some of those triple spins could be the decider, for example.
Yeah, I mean, they are both fully kitted out with all their items, so it is going to be, Kohrek did miss the first pot. Gets a nice hookshot grab, though. Both these runners have to be just staring at the race window right now, just wondering when the other person's gonna dot done.
Yeah.
Good lord. Alright, so thalane with the crappy boomerang strats there. Well executed, but with a bad boomerang. Oh, Kohrek with the hookshot speed before the Zelda disappearance. Incredible.
Yeah, both swag and it does save time as well.
Oh my god. I paid for my whole seat, Walther, but I'm only using the edge of it right now. Alright, how many blue balls are we getting here?
So 54.
Oh, Kohrek,
no! Oh, he misses a shot! No!
Every second counts right now. Oh, Kohrek knows it too, because he's swinging that sword. He's not happy.
Yeah, 54 and 15 was when they entered the fight here.
Yeah. Well, wait, if there's a big gap between the 6 and 7 ball for Kohrek, this could be trouble.
Yeah, potentially Kohrek could get like an extra lightning animation and everything.
Yep. It just kind of depends on how kind the randomness is going to be here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a lot of blue balls so far, so that's well, never mind.
Meanwhile, thalane giving Ganon the business end of the magic boomerang. Wow! Look at
oh my
that.
god,
we are
entering
a Ganon fight mere seconds apart. Wow!
Yeah.
All right, so it's gonna come down to just how well practiced are you on the Ganon fight here. It is so easy to bleed time in this fight.
There is 3 seconds between them right now.
All right, so now Buttersword is going to make these first 2 phases pretty inconsequential. You can just kind of slap this pig away and he'll die pretty fast.
Yeah, and remember, if the race is 2 seconds or closer, it counts as a tie.
Kohrek still with a slight lead. Lane is right behind him.
Oh, this is amazing.
All right, how kind is Ganon going to be with the teleports here?
Yeah, they had the same one-on-one in the first phase, so they're gonna have the same teleports.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
Torch glitch is gonna be
also,
key here.
The Silvers were in Ganon's tower.
Oh no!
Thalane
tried to switch to the Silvers. Losing precious time by doing that.
Oh, Thalane's gonna have to bust out some triples here, or he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the closest I've seen a race by.
This is so close.
Far in a long time.
Thalane's gotten a triple. Oh, Kohrek loses a little bit of time here, though. Oh, he misses fire rod shots!
And he's running low on magic, too.
Thalane is gaining time. Oh, this is so close. Yeah, Kohrek has to switch to the lantern because of all those
Thalane
shots.
has him down.
Thalane gets him down. Oh my gosh, the come from behind victory. Are you kidding me? Kohrek just kills him. Is this going to be a tie?
Oh my god.
The official SRL times will tell us. Thalane with a 159.20. Kohrek with a 159.26. A 6-second difference. Are you kidding me? Oh, absolutely incredible play from these 2 runners. Wow. So yeah, the official SRL times were 1:59:20 for Thalane, 1:59:26 for Kohrek. That was absolutely incredible, Walter.
Yeah, very. And if you haven't already, like, spam your GGs for both of these runners. They made an amazing race. You can't ask for much more than this.
No, that had it all. That had action, adventure, excitement. Me making all kinds of talking mistakes. It had everything.
And at the end, they both managed to sub-2 the seed as well.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see if we can't get both of these runners in here for a post-race interview.
Yeah,
wow.
Since the race is over, we can now get both Kohrek and thalane into a Discord voice call. GG's both
we
of
are
you.
joined.
That race was amazing.
Wow, GG guys, that was absolutely incredible. 6-second difference for a 2-hour seed.
Yeah, GG. Thanks, thanks guys. GG, Thalane.
Yeah, definitely GG. I don't even know what to say, to be honest.
I know what to say. That was incredible. You guys put on an amazing show. The hunt for that castle tower key was absolutely incredible.
I imagine both of you have been watching the last 20 minutes of this.
Yeah, I did.
And seen how it ended.
Yeah. I don't know, like, we both choked so hard at some points at the very end there, and it was super close. And I was super scared, like, after the last hit, I was like, okay, that's not gonna be a tie against Kohrek again, is it? And then I put in, like, the dot done. I was like, okay, 1 second, 2 seconds, okay, I got it. And then he's like, dot done. I'm like, oh, what just happened? So, yeah, it's always so close against Kohrek, man.
Yeah, you guys definitely put on a good show. Flame, while you're talking, I had a question for you. Was that I think the race really flipped when you decided to do that pedestal check instead of any of the other kind of one-off locations that had been put off just due to the routing nature of the seed? Did you have a feeling that pedestal had something? Because there was actually a hint for it in Ice Palace, but that was a hint I think that you did not see.
Yeah, I just saw a hint that a unique item was in Lost Woods, so I was like, okay, I think I got like rupees at the start, so I was it didn't came to me until like midway into T-Rock, hey, that's probably the boots hint, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, seems like it wasn't. So I pulled it, I was like kind of happy, okay, this worked out, so yeah. And then thought, okay, where do I look for that Castle Tower key now? I knew the GT big key was in the library. I just thought, okay, let's pick up that small key on the bumper ledge, because I know there's a small key there, so why would I go and like clear GT when I know there's like one chance right there, like right next to me, right? So I checked that. Was the Castle Tower small key, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, there were still a few garbage keys left out there, but seemed like pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta say, Kohrek, you put on a pretty incredible show as well. Your choices, especially finishing all of Castle Tower on the off chance that finishing the top portion of Ganon's Tower, hoping that Castle Tower key would go there before having to do the bumper cave check, I thought was a pretty genius move.
Well, see, the thing is, I climbed up the mountain and I'm like walking in. I'm looking at my map to see, like, I'm just to make sure I was comfortable with clearing GT basement, and I saw bumper cave. I'm like, oh no, there was a small key there. So I'm quickly looking at the key counts for all the dungeons. I'm like, well, it's 1 in 4 that is a Castle Tower key. So I'm here. I should probably do GT, but I don't want to do the basement yet.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty reasonable play. And it ended up being the correct one. I mean, that was a whole section that you just got to skip.
Yeah, and I have a question for Thalane. How about that
don't
Pyro
ask that.
Castle map?
I just read that in chat. I was like, wait, these guys are right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You left the Sank chest, Thalane. What did you know
Yeah.
the race was going to come down to 2 to 3 seconds, and that was your strategy?
Yeah, I knew that from the very beginning. No, I played like an open mode seed earlier, and this time I felt like super smart. I even like menued 2 bombs. I was like, okay, no Hyrule Castle map, so I can skip this chest. Then I save and quit a bunch of times, 2 sank, and I just walked past it because I was like 100% sure there was the Hyrule Castle map. And now that I read it, I'm like, oh, well, this could have been like not good.
Yeah,
Well,
you could have had
amusing
like
thing
10
is-
arrows from the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Dang.
Yeah, the amusing thing is with how close this race came down to. I mean, that's seconds matter in a race this close.
Yeah, I could have skipped Pod and Eastern, I guess. That chest,
Excellent.
right?
Well, thanks again for the great show, guys. That was a really fun race to commentate. So thanks again for the great show. And you guys got round 2 coming up tomorrow, and it looks like it's the run back. Basically same modes, except it's hard mode, I believe. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Yeah.
That's right.
So I hope every race is as awesome and as close as this one was, because that was absolutely incredible. Well, any
As
final
much
thoughts
as-
before we sign off for the afternoon/evening here, gentlemen?
No, just the usual. Thank you guys for commentating Files and Wall. I hope Files you like the file names, and thanks Wolfling for commentating.
I
And
laughed so hard at the beginning of this.
thank you so much, Kohrek, for the yet another like super exciting race. Kind of the spring tourney run back between us two, where we tied, and yeah, this was super close again. So I'm looking forward to these matches.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and this is a great top 4. I'm excited to be a part of it, and I'm excited for the next race. So yeah, thanks everybody.
Well, excellent. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Like we mentioned, there is another race of this tomorrow. So if you're interested in more Link to the Past tournament action, same channel, same time, same runners, it'll be the same great show. So that'll be it for us here for the Link to the Past tournament. So we will see you guys next mission.